that the fandom menace isn't just angry males. It's toxic femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Oh, yes. Here we are once again. It's Tuesday. It's 7 o'clock Central, and you are watching Toxic Femininity here on Midnight's Edge After Dark. Hopefully we got Mara Jade with us. We also have Miss with us. And sitting in is the Rookster himself, Miss Rookie Critic. How you doing, Miss Rookie Critic?
We gotta have a different name for it to go with all my characters. What's a good variation of Jeff? That's a female name, Jeffrika. No,
Jeffrika.
Jeffrika.
Is there a female?
Jeffrella. Jeffrika is good enough for now.
Genevieve. I don't know.
Nah,
well, just
that's
make sure the potion is filled.
Starts with a J, but I don't know if that counts.
Real quick.
Not take it seriously.
Suggestions in the chat for what the name should be, as long as it's a variation of Jeff, to keep it with my characters.
I have to show them because I made them guess what I was eating. It's lemon, frozen lemonade.
Frozen lemonade. Aren't you supposed to drink that? No.
Mara, are you with us? She was having some issues. I don't know if we're going to be able to have her tonight or not, but
she's just coming in and out of the force,
Yeah. I'm not hearing anything.
We almost had a problem.
No.
All right. So let's get into some stories here. She just dropped out again, so I have a feeling she's having some issues there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Okay, I'm going to screen share.
First things first. What do you got going on here? Are you going to screen share?
Yeah. I thought you wanted to do something first.
Go ahead.
That's you, Tom.
Okay.
All right. What do we got here? Oh, George Lucas. We're starting off right off the bat with some George Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. I just took a mouthful of ice cream because I'm an idiot.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
George Lucas couldn't hide his own disappointment when he was shown Star Wars: The Force Awakens. George Lucas was famously edged out of the production of Star Wars: The Force Awakens after he sold his Lucasfilm firm to Disney in 2012. Though Lucas provided some potential storylines and direction for the reboot, working as a creative consultant early on in production, director J.J. Abrams and producer Kathleen Kennedy went in their own direction with the finished product. But according to the new memoir by Disney boss Bob Iger, the producer was bitterly disappointed with the result, which he believed simply rejigged the story from his first Star Wars film, A New Hope. Early on, Kathy brought J.J. and Michael Arden up to Northern California to meet with George at his ranch and talk about their ideas for the film. Iger writes in The Ride of a Lifetime, Lessons Learned from 15 Years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. That is too long of a title for a book. George immediately got upset as they began to describe the plot, and it dawned on him that we weren't using one of his stories he submitted during the negotiations. The truth was, Kathy, JJ, Alan, and I had discussed the direction in which the saga should go, and we all agreed that it wasn't what George had outlined. George knew we weren't contractually bound to anything, but thought that our buying the story treatments was a tactic promise that we'd follow them, and he was disappointed that his story was being discarded. Things didn't get much better once he'd seen the movie either. Just prior to the global release, Kathy screened The Force Awakens for George. Iger goes on to say, he didn't hide his disappointment. There's nothing new, he said. In each of the films in the original trilogy, it was important to him to present new worlds, new stories, new characters, and new technologies. In this one, he said, there weren't enough visual or technical leaps forward. He wasn't wrong, but he also wasn't appreciating the pressure we were under to give ardent fans a film we felt quintessentially Star Wars. We'd intentionally created a world that was visually and tonally connected to earlier films, to not stray too far from what people loved and expected. And George was criticizing us for the very thing we were trying to do. Looking back with the perspective of several years and a few more Star Wars films, I believe J.J. achieved the near impossible, creating a perfect bridge between what had been and what was to come. Sorry, is Mara trying to speak?
Oh, is that the end of the article? Or what you're reading anyway?
Yeah, I think they just
Prattle on a bit.
yeah. Basically, George Lucas did not like The Force Awakens, but I think most of it was because they didn't go with his story that he had put forth, and then some with the way they chose to tell the story.
Well, I think the fact that they try to, retell one of the first ones is like, that's not how you continue the story.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Big time.
But I think it's interesting that he admitted to that in his book.
What was the book again? I missed the title of the book. What was the book?
I'm not saying it again. No way am I saying that again.
Well, it's no surprise that George wasn't happy with the way things went, and reportedly they didn't go with his ideas a while back. That's what we had heard, and of course, this just kind of solidifies that. And I mean, I don't know if George's would have been much better. I mean, I'm one of those who doesn't think that George Lucas can really fix it, or he's any kind of real big savior. He's a great idea guy. He's great creator of like worlds and characters and ships and stuff like that, but he's not real good at storytelling. I'm not a huge fan of the prequels, so
you think if he just simply produced the project and picked out some directors that could have been maybe better-ish, or still kind of down the ways of unlikable?
Problem is, I can't imagine he would have got too many different people to work on his next movie if he wasn't going to direct it. So, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I heard from a very reliable source that George Lucas wanted to give away Star Wars. He didn't even want anything to do with it anymore. So it was like,
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, he did get quite a bit of backlash, which, I was a youngin' at the time, so I wasn't wasn't really aware of all the backlash.
Well, the only reason he couldn't give it to Disney was the taxes. I guess it was going to cost him a fortune in taxes if he did it that way. So,
but Disney are just happy to give it to George.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't think some people are saying release Lucas's version, and I'm like,
no, it's not. No, I don't know. See, to me, there doesn't need to be the sequel versions. I mean, if anything, they could have continued the Star Wars, making some type of movies, but as far as a continuation of them, I don't know. There isn't, I felt like it was final with what it was, the original 3, and then here's some backstory on that stuff, make it pretty full, and then there wasn't really a story after that. After that, it's kind of play with the universe now, kind of. That's how I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Or should I talk like this or something on this? What's the rules that Mary declared?
None of us talk like that.
None of the girls talk like this, but we're going to just because.
I mean, I don't know.
Look at all this smoke that's coming out from me.
That's
thinking so much. I'm thinking so hard that my brain is smoking.
Mm-hmm.
The smoke background scared me though. Something
wrong is supposed to be fire. Your brain is smoking.
It was actually for Cheech and Chong background, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You rocking that.
No, but it doesn't surprise me that he didn't like it. If he loved it, I would ever believe him.
I mean,
most directors have huge egos, though, right? Because anything not worthy of them is not.
Well, I mean, when I was done with the Rookie's Quest, I mean, how much of an ego did I have?
Shut up, Rookie.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I haven't really seen much, but I've seen a little bit of what George had in mind, and a lot of it looked like The Last Jedi, so I don't know.
I don't know about that. Just like I said, I just don't think there needed to be any continuation of the story.
It had Luke old and on some island or something like that, or in hiding. And he was training a female Jedi. Her name wasn't Rey, but she was very similar. So yeah, I mean, there was aspects of it that were a lot like. I can't imagine it was nearly as bad as The Last Jedi, but
Right. Well, again, this just kind of goes with. I don't think that it was necessary to continue it. I kind of if they didn't do the sequel, trilogy attempt at all, and they just kind of went with, all right, we're gonna do like a Mandalorian. We're gonna do these like one-off ones. You know, these we're gonna try to see how we can play in the Star Wars sandbox without making it like specifically a trilogy with continuing the characters or whatnot. Oh my God, Tom, Jesus Christ.
I like that better than you talking like
That's
a
a
valid
little,
girl.
it's a little much. The hair is what throws it off, man. The lips make you like you just
That I
went
want to
face
speak
first.
the manager haircut.
The lips just go straight, like you're just chowing on a watermelon, just face deep.
I hope you guys are enjoying this totally feminine stream.
Yeah,
You don't even know.
As you can tell, Rookie and I have no clue how to act.
No, we're too masculine to be able to be feminine, so we
Like-
just try to stereotypically act like this.
I can feel the testosterone, like
I
in my
mean, we have the titties for it, but I mean, you know, that's not the
That's
full
true.
requirements here. But then again, it is toxic femininity.
You want to measure boobs, miss? I bet
Mhm.
I'm sure you guys will win.
She's the most toxic one of all. You guys hear my annoying table squeak?
Okay.
I hope not. All right.
Okay, are we done with this?
No.
Because all I have to say is I don't want to see what Lucas had to do with the movies either.
Jax Kralox Jedi Knight says moobs. Man boobs. I don't know. See, I don't think there's much to comment on with this, just because to me, like, I feel like most of the discussion about this kind of thing's already been kind of done, and it's just like, speaking of George Lucas specifically, it's hard to say what would be, and like especially after the prequels, like would he maybe try a little different approach with how he does something? I don't know. Maybe if he had some advisors, like he still wants to be kind of in charge, but hey, if I'm gonna walk off the cliff, and just pull me back real quick, something like that. I don't know. Because I have faith in the man, but I also don't, like, in a way I kind of liked how after Revenge of the Sith they had some awesome video games come out. They had some cool books still coming out. They had a lot of other Star Wars based things. The TV shows were coming around, so like you're still able to get your fill of Star Wars in the Star Wars world without having to have it be like the main trilogy. And you can count it as canon if you want, kind of like the show. They say it is canon, but it's like you don't technically have to count it as canon, the way you watch it. But with same like kind of with the sequel trilogy, I count it as like I don't need to see those to count it. So right here's the cutoff.
Have you even seen any of them?
Of the sequel ones?
Yeah,
the
like
TV show.
And like The Force Awakens and stuff like that.
The what movie? No, just kidding. Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, seen The Force Awakens. And yeah, I bought The Force Awakens when it first came out. I saw it in theaters once, and I was kind of unsure. And then later, I was like at Target, and I bought it there. And it took me a long time before I watched it again. I was like, okay, maybe I just need to be in the right mindset. So I'm alone, nobody's around, Star Wars mindset. And I was all good until after, like, what was it? You kind of see Rey for a little bit, and then after that, when she starts talking, I don't know. It's just like, no.
She starts talking.
See, I'm right. They should have made her mute.
Like just saying that the way they like, that's what I'm saying. The way they filmed her was like you were learning a lot about her without her saying a thing, and it was like, wow, she's really cool. And then it's like, oh, don't touch me! Oh, get off me! I'm just like,
made her a mute. Mark my words.
Well, okay, I'll admit too. The beginning, like stormtrooper sequence with Poe and all them and Finn was kind of stupid too. Like I'm just like this. They're trying to make it feel like it's a hectic little war zone for a minute. It didn't feel like that at all. I'm like, I can tell, like it's bad when on a Star Wars film it feels like a set, kind of, or like this is for the thing. It was cool when he stopped the laser, kind of. That was all right. That was pretty cool. All right, that's a different force power. It's cool. But I don't know, things that could have done better. But if we go on what could have been, then we'll be here all day. So
I think Force Awakens was on like Attack of the Clones level. Like it was enjoyable, but it was bad.
No, different levels of
first time, but The Last Jedi really ruined it for me because like it had potential. It just went there.
See, like with Attack of the Clones, I feel like it's there's lots of duller moments in it. So for a lot of people, it wasn't very enjoyable, but those were all part of the story. Those are part of progressing and what's happening. You got to kind of fill in. If you're paying attention, you're trying to fill in blanks to figure out what's going on here. And the Jedi fight was pretty cool. The Gladiator Stadium. Which is funny when people say that they didn't want more lightsabers, when leading up to the Phantom Menace, I'm pretty sure that having more lightsabers was part of the goal, and then they get it, so too. But I don't know. I agree things could have been different with Attack of the Clones also, not saying it's a masterpiece or anything, but I think it's better than Force Awakens level, I would say.
Probably. I don't know.
I could go on more stuff. I actually haven't made many videos criticizing Star Wars. But I talk about it because we talk about it so much in live stream, so I don't really make any videos on it. Like The Force Awakens, they used practical effects, but it just meshed weirder than anything else because of the way the picture quality looks, maybe, because it looks so good, and you can tell what's a puppet now and what isn't, as to where before everything was kind of the same level, so it all meshed better,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like there's that bird that's pecking in the desert, and it's like that's what that is, and then you go, and then other creatures are CGI, and it doesn't mix at all. Like in Lord of the Rings, the CGI mixes with the practical pretty well, and then this like no.
Okay. Well, we talked that to death.
Yep.
Let's make a note that since the ladies are gone, I'm in charge.
Well, I think that's obvious. It goes without saying.
So we're going to move on to the next topic. I think we should stay in tune with things. So share this. Not that. We'll share this.
Put the news away, miss.
It's loading. It's at the bottom because I was reading it. Okay. Trying to see. Can't see. Is it sharing? Okay.
We see it totally.
CEO Bob Iger confirms diversity agenda at Disney. What a shocker. Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed the company has a diversity agenda. In a recent interview with the New York Times, interviewer Maureen Dowd pointed out to Iger that the top executives of Disney are white men in their TV, film, parks, and consumer products, and streaming and international divisions. They name all the people who are. Iger responded saying, you have to look one level down because we've done a lot. However, he did acknowledge that Disney is lacking in diversity when it comes to the people who are directly reporting to him. He then made it clear he plans to change that before he leaves the company, saying, I'll change that before I leave. Thank you. Iger is expected to retire from Disney in 2021. Dowd would also comment on whether there will be a female director for a Star Wars film. Iger told her that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy is trying really hard to find one. I wonder why she isn't finding one. The upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars show, The Mandalorian, did have a female directors. Star Wars announced last October that Deborah Chow and Bryce Dallas Howard would direct episodes of the show. Whoopty freaking knew. Iger would also address how the company deals with its employees. He noted they are looking for solutions. We're trying really hard to find solutions to the challenges and the problems that our employees are facing today. We're going to come up with dozens of more solutions that we're going to try to help improve their lives. And if they don't work, we're going to find dozens more. We have to be better. What do you make of Bob Iger's comments? Blah, blah, blah. So, basically, he basically went out and said, we're trying to find females to hire specifically for the roles that they were asking about.
Did they, look for talent at all in that?
Possibly not.
It's pretty easy to find for female.
Bryce Dallas Howard isn't a bad name.
What?
Bryce Dallas Howard isn't a bad name. I had heard she's trying to get into directing.
I like her. She's a good actress.
Say Bryce Dallas Howard.
She's her if she's anything like her dad, she'll be a decent director, probably.
Yeah, possibly.
him, and I don't feel like there's much of a victory there. There's a lot of people who are pulling victories out of the things he said, and it's more like I already knew this.
Well, yeah, and this is part of a bigger interview, and he also doubled down on the whole, we had way too much Star Wars too fast crap, too, which is bullshit. Because otherwise, 20-some Marvel movies in 10 years would have been too much too fast.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that article after this.
Yeah, if they were positively received.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead here. As far as the diversity thing, I don't care as long as the talent's there. I mean, Bryce Dallas Howard's not a bad choice, but what else you got? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's her face directed Wonder Woman? What's her name? Patty Jenkins.
That one chick, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
It's nothing new. I'm not surprised. They should be high because they're good at their jobs, not because they're women. And I think I don't know. I don't understand how people can't see how sexist that is.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just.
Well, it's like I wonder how many women like grow up to be a certain age. You know, like let's say they're in college age. You know, like in their 20s to mid 20s or something. And it's like, how many of them are going, I want to be a film director? I mean, some probably, sure, but
I'm willing to bet the majority. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm willing to bet the majority of the women nowadays who try to be a director succeed, because it's not like it's that big of a pool.
Yeah, but that is crazy. See, I wouldn't mind seeing some more, and like more that are interested in film. But I mean, even in my own experience in life, like the ones that are interested in the film industry at all want to be an actress or a designer of some kind and make up something. They're interested in all these different aspects of it. They don't want to be the one that is responsible for everything. And that's not saying it's a trait for all women, of course, just from what I've experienced, that's what that seems to be. So there's not going to be that cream of crop. There's not going to be the mountain of women that are just like, we're all trying to be directors and you just won't let us. No. I think I bet you they go outside and like, any women want to be a director, and no response. Okay, and now if anyone answers, okay, you're hired. Come on, you're one. Let's go.
I'm a director. I directed the Unicorn movie.
It was totally meant for. Who's that meant for?
It's meant for all those dreamers out there, except for white men.
Okay, right.
White men.
Oh my
Perfect. Yeah. Totally.
I have been dreaming of a world where I can be a director because I want to be, and I don't have to work for it, and I just get hired because I'm female.
I'm just dreaming to be a director because of my vagina.
Well, you had,
you're sexist.
You had like Penny Marshall back in the day. You have, like Penelope Spears, or how you say her name.
Didn't Angelina Jolie direct the film?
I think so.
Was it good? I haven't seen it. I don't know. She could be an option. See, old actresses not old ladies, but you know what I mean. Former actresses might be the ones that have the best potential to maybe direct some stuff. As of right now, female directing pool isn't big as it is. Maybe. Once they get past like a certain stage of whatever they're doing.
You still have to have the resume, though. You can't just be like.
Well, I know, but see, I can't even tell what the qualifications are when you're already in Hollywood, and then you want to direct now, because sometimes it seems like, hey, you were in the thing. Why don't you direct something else later?
It all depends.
Sure. So
it all depends. Like Bryce Dallas Howard, I heard that she's having a hard time breaking in, which is bullshit considering who her dad is. And the fact that they want women right now directing, I don't understand why it's so hard for her to break in right now. But I have heard from, people close to her that it's difficult. So, I mean,
bought.
What's that?
Maybe she can't be bought.
I don't know if it's that so much as people just they want her to act too, and she's just getting to that age where keeping a certain weight and all that kind of stuff is getting tough, and that was what I was told. And like her dad, he got to that point where he would rather sit behind the camera than in front of it, and she probably got the directing bug, and something like this Star Wars gig is going to be something that'll help get her name out there, at least that she's actually doing stuff like this. And I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, you see, what's funny, you say that now, getting the Star Wars gig will help. It seems like, remember how Star Wars is like this peak level of like, this is the top thing you can do. It's like, you can try to reach for Marvel or for, something else, but, you could try to do Star Wars to start, It's a decent way to begin.
Well, here's the thing, yeah, all the guys like Ryan Johnson and crap should have started on shows like this. They should have never been handed a fucking movie.
It's like, I feel like Chris Stuckman has a good chance of being the director of a Star Wars film soon. Like he's
probably better than
cover, I would give him more credit. He does seem to have the passion for it, at least, to make something. So there's that.
Okay. We beat the crap out of that topic.
Miss, why don't you become a director? Why don't you stop being lazy and just get off your butt and direct?
You want me to hurt you, rookie?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not yet. That means not yet. She'll strike when I'm not expecting it.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic, ladies.
Ladies.
Whammons.
Waymans.
Let's move on, whammons.
Dead Pirate said we're looking good, so thank you.
Okay. Disney CEO Bob Iger's comments about slowing down on Star Wars makes sense. When it comes to Star Wars, Disney's CEO and chairman Bob Iger is sticking to a set line. A year ago, Iger told The Hollywood Reporter when asked about there being a Star Wars movie a year that I made the timing decision, and as I look back, I think the mistake that I made, I take the blame, was a little too much too fast. You can expect some going to make films. This past weekend, he told the New York Times that I just think that we might have put a little bit too much in the marketplace too fast. While Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story, all did extremely well, Solo, a Star Wars story, did not fare well by galactic standards. Hey, look, the article actually said, the Mary Sue actually said it. I've heard people...
Yep, pretty ballsy.
Yeah. Arriving about 5 months after The Last Jedi, a rushed marketing campaign probably did the film no favors. The lackluster box office might have caused the sudden focus on anthology TV series, like the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series that allegedly has replaced a film centered on the fan favorite Jedi. Star Wars isn't in any danger. There's no reason for Disney to be afraid with their highly anticipated, I couldn't say the word, The Rise of Skywalker coming out this year, as well as the first of the live-action television shows, The Mandalorian, debuting on Disney+. There are planned shows like animated Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and the live-action Kenobi series, as well as the live-action Cassian Andor series. There are 2 more trilogies in the works. Star Wars isn't going anywhere, and yet a slight slowdown when it comes to movies might be for the best. Star Wars films are event movies that don't need to happen once a year. Spreading out the films can help make sure that the projects also don't have quite a... Okay, I'm really dumb. What does that say?
That is...
Tumultuous. Okay, I had to say it in my head. Quite as tumultuous of productions as Rogue One and Solo did. By giving the cinematic project room to breathe, they can develop them without the risk of needing extensive reshoots or losing a director mid-production. To say that Star Wars is slowing down seems like a bit of a reach, with 3 live-action shows in production, 2 animated series ending this year, and a constant stream of books and comics keeping fans happy. Only the films seem to be slowing down, and that's okay. We really don't need to have a Star Wars film a year. That would be like expecting a Marvel film on par with Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War a year. Let's take a look at Marvel, which, like it or not, has the best module for event. Blah, blah, blah. The standalones can be huge events, especially depending on the character that they're focusing on, but the team-up films and big event movies come along every few years, which builds anticipation for the culmination. Endgame could be released so close to each other because they were events 10 years in the making. Star Wars films are, in a way, automatically event films. By slowing down on the films and building up to the hype of a new Star Wars project, that's keeping them as event films. It has nothing to do with The Last Jedi angering people on the internet or people angry that the new films feature heroes who aren't white men. It has everything to do with
explosions.
Imagine talking like this every day.
The franchise isn't going anywhere, but Disney is wise to turn their sci-fi opera into more than an event project with build-up rather than just knocking out a film a year. Even with Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss unfortunately tackling the next trilogy, I look forward to seeing how Star Wars progresses cinematically in the future. Over the best days of the franchise.
Progressing. Sure.
Something in my eye.
That's the twinkle of love or something. I don't know. Was that the end of the article?
Anger.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the end of the article.
All right. Well, thank you for not popcorn reading. I like that better when you just read it instead of us.
I pronounced tumultuous by myself.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of dumb in there.
Here, guys.
Yeah. There was a lot of dumb in that article.
Yes, there was.
Where to start? I think it's kind of funny, though, too, with the, of the white male. What was that he said? With the white males, he said that there are people mad that there's white males in it or mad that there isn't white males in it. What was that?
Let me read it back.
It's hard to quote a specific one because there's so many people that say shit like that.
People on the internet or people angry that the new films feature heroes who aren't white male.
Who aren't white male. Oh, right, because that's the reason why we are mad. Right.
Yeah, that's the reason we're mad. Not because.
Right. God, that's so stupid.
I
I'm
hate
explaining that to my dad. What was that, Tom?
God, Mary, how dare you? How dare you insult Miss Rookie?
Yeah, how dare you? I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, Tom. I'm going to thank you.
I mean, it's not like people are fans of any female Star Wars characters whatsoever.
No, like
especially heroes, like Padme, Mara Jade,
even Bastila. There's Khan, some series. Yeah, there's quite a few of them, and no, it's wow, it's just biggity baffling. Yeah,
it's funny that they're blaming. Oh, we put them out too fast and people got.
Well, it's like I agree that Star Wars doesn't need to be out every year. I think that's true, but I don't think that's the reason why it's not doing well. Because wow, if it was good, I'd be looking forward to it every time, and it would be in my budget, and I'd clear my schedule to make sure that I can meet it, and be excited for the next trailer and be talking about it more on my channel. But it's like, I don't really want to. It's not because there's too many coming out. I don't know what to do. No.
Right, and the stupidest thing he did was bring up Marvel, because in the case of Marvel,
they were successful and people like it.
Well, not only that, if you look at it, it totally disregards this argument, because not only has Marvel continued on with all these movies, they continue to make more and more and more instead of it being the other way around. You know what I mean? And maybe if you put the headband on the top of the pink shirt, Rookie, it'll actually kind of look right, maybe.
No, it's too tight on my big ass head, so I'm like, I just took it off because it's giving me a headache. So, yeah.
Now you look like Rocky in a pink hoodie.
Oh wait, if I put the headband on, I would. Yeah, there we go.
Nick.
Let's go with that.
No, you just look like you're Arabian. I'm sorry. That was a dumb idea.
A person in my house is walking on me like this, so.
People are going to think you're racist, so yeah, it's probably.
I'm just getting ready for war, the pink Taliban.
Okay, stop it.
Let's lock and load, my friends. I don't have a gun nearby, so let's get ready.
Oh my god.
We're going straight to hell for that one.
Oh my god.
Sorry that I keep on derailing the topics, but.
No. I think that there was only one more left. So yeah, really.
No, there are 3 more.
3 more? Well, I got this one here. I got the Gandalf one. Or did you have more Star Wars?
Morris says I look like a gay terrorist. Now, see, if I acted like one, though, if I had like some type of pose, it's more like we're gonna get you. Then yes, I'd agree. But I'm still manly, Oh, that's worse. Never mind. I'll just shut up. Go ahead, read Miss or Tom.
We are totally gonna bomb your country. See,
we're totally going to get you the sprinkles and sparkles, all that.
I've stumbled upon big words.
And then we're going to give you the right kind of clothes, because let me tell you, that's not the kind of clothes we want you wearing now. No, that's old school. We want new school. Robin Malcolm has welcomed the massive news. Amazon Studios will film and produce a new Lord of the Rings series in New Zealand, but thinks Gandalf should be played by a woman. The New Zealand actress told Heather Pleases Allen on News Talk ZB's Drive show, "We don't need another old dude to play Wizard Gandalf." Okay. "I think Gandalf should be a woman this time." She said British actor Siri McKellen played the wizard in New Zealand director Peter Jackson's trilogy film. Oh, Lord. If you're wondering who she was in like one of the Lord of the Rings movies, I guess. But anyway, this is not like a thing. This is just this actress saying, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
You don't remember all the women in Lord of the Rings?
There's like
badass women in Lord of the Rings.
Well, there's like 2.
3.
There's
2 or
a few.
3. There's Sam's side piece. There's the elf chick, and then there's the like Galadriel like super wizard chick.
And then there's the one who took down what's his name?
Oh right, the Eowyn. Who took down the Night King, the Night Witch. Oh God, I'm forgetting their names now. I'm getting them mixed up with other names.
Also, plenty of the archers were women.
Were they? Or did they just do it with long hair?
They all just look like women. Elves look like
They're all very feminine, so that's true.
What happened
Don't assume their gender.
See, like, I wouldn't mind if they had a female wizard in a movie, but like, what's the point of making it a Gandalf? Is she gonna is there already a sexy Gandalf picture, like costume?
A wizard is never late.
Did you know they made the My Neighbor guy? They made a sexy costume for like what? Why? Somebody did a video on that. So that's how I saw it, and I was like, what the hell? Mr. Rogers. And so it's like, do they have like a sexy Gandalf? Why would they need that?
Yeah, also, female dwarves are hard to spot. Yes.
Yeah, they make that clear.
Yeah.
They even exist.
I wondered if the human women were extinct or something, like, or on the verge, endangered, because of how few of them were in there. But then it wasn't a distraction.
Jesus Christ, I'm so tired. Like race bending characters, I'm like, okay, depends on the character. Fucking gender bending them.
Like Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four. The race swap of that isn't the worst, in my opinion. Like,
no, but it's pointless not to make his sister black too.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that. Yeah, if you're gonna make him,
I can think of why they didn't. For two reasons. One is just so that they write about it in the papers, and two, they said there's no way that in the Bible Belt and certain other areas of this country and other countries are you going to have a biracial couple in a huge blockbuster movie. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, when was that ever a concern?
It used to be a big thing, man. You'd be surprised. They used to say that shit all the time. Now it's kind of changing, obviously.
See, like I talk about that movie specifically because it's so
That's
bad.
one thing that has changed in the last few years. But they used to say shit like that. They used to worry about how stuff would play in the Bible Belt. Like that's why they didn't like.
They have movie theaters there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have movie theaters down in the country.
No, Gandalf should not be a woman. Gandalf should be a woman. That's the point of this. Shut up, rookie.
Well, yeah, okay. So why don't they are there not witches in this universe of theirs? Like
Galadriel is already the female wizard or whatever.
Yeah, that's a witch, right?
Or
am I wrong?
That would be sorceress. I think would be the equivalent.
Sorceress. Yeah, that's probably better wording of that. Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be cool. Isn't Galadriel technically she's a sorceress?
That's what I'm saying. She already is. Yeah.
He's like, oh, let's see.
There's only like there's like the 4 or 5 of them or whatever, and they've all been around for a long time. So that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah. So okay. So hold on. They said he should be a woman in the Lord of the Rings series. So they're making a series, like a TV one, I imagine. And
I'm not gonna watch it.
what would the point of making the Gandalf character that already existed in this universe as a man change? Does he like go, hey, I'm gonna cast a spell on myself, make myself sexy? Like,
Well,
I
it's
don't-
not supposed to be it's not supposed to be attached to the Peter Jackson series.
then what's the point either? It's
know.
like not even like a spin-off of taking like using that as the base of their rules and lore. Like, why would it even be Lord of the Rings then?
One thing, it'll be concentrating on a different time period, I think, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you use the rules established in the movies or, already there to do your thing?
no,
Yeah,
kids nowadays know better, rookie. They all know better.
I know, but I don't understand how. I still don't understand how they get there with like you're taking something that exists and then you go, this is part of it, but we're just gonna make it different. It's like why not title it something different or new, and then we can go, wow, look at your stupid thing now, and then
Rookie,
maybe be impressed.
that's not Lord of the Rings. We can't sell that.
But it's like just having it be Lord of the Rings now after The Hobbit isn't a guaranteed sell anymore. A lot of people sometimes have a problem with Return of the King still. Like, even though that was still really good, people have issues. So.
It's
That's
so.
just because they had to pee. That's all.
It's funny though. It's really funny because, like, in the article, her reasoning as to why he should be a woman is that, is basically we've had enough old dudes, old men playing wizard. While Ian McKellen did a beautiful job, why not have an old woman do it instead of an old man?
Again, really, see, this is making me think, like, how could this work where it's women? Well, it wouldn't be in Lord of the Rings universe because it doesn't make any sense, at least as of now, unless you go into the future, maybe, but it doesn't make any, again, why have it be Lord of the Rings? You can have, what's the McGonagall and, who's some old chicks now? Who's some old ladies now that could play some sorceresses? That'd be kind of cool.
It's dumb, and it's not Tolkien's vision. It's not what Tolkien.
That's what I'm saying. They can make their own sorceress movie or something that's not Lord of the Rings.
Medieval thing, yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could do something pretty cool. Maybe you can have 10 sorceress women and they're all at war or some shit. I don't know. War against the old men. Like okay, fine, but not Lord of the Rings though. Okay, like.
They're
wait. So, hold on. Does Tolkien?
Story.
Did he make more books that we don't know of, or what?
No.
There's a Silmarillion, and his son, I think, did a few things.
So are they doing those? Are they adapting those? Or are they just making some rando?
She just doesn't want it to be played by an old man anymore.
It's just, but she has no say over this. This is nothing than just some lady saying, "Oh, that would be cool," because the Tolkien estate's going to be like, "This shall not pass."
Okay, see, I thought this was more like an official announcement.
Nope. And that's the thing is, a lot of people are running with it like it is. And it's just an actress who happened to be in one of the movies. She played Marl, which I think was the cousin to the one guy.
No, I don't remember him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, this is her. Like, I don't recognize her in the movie at all. So.
The cousin?
Like, I think she was the cousin in the second movie or whatever.
I don't know. Okay, but yeah, all right, that's fine. Yeah, if it's not like an official announcement, then I don't care. I guess it's just disagree with the stance. But yeah, I thought it was because when people said the Princess Bride was being announced, like that was just kind of like rumors of
an announcement either. Yeah.
So that kind of gets under my skin though sometimes. When it's like I don't know. Okay, so it wasn't like them making the real announcements. And then it's like, oh no, it's just talking about it. Okay, cool. The difference.
That one's actually closer to being realistic because the head of Sony had said that people have been circling wanting to make.
Like when the Hobbs and Shaw thing, I didn't think that was a real announcement when they said it, and then lo and behold, they put it in theaters, and I'm like, wow, they really made it. Like that's surprising. I'm like, okay, I did not know that one was real.
They ain't fucking around with those Fast and Furious movies.
Okay, they don't look like they're in the same universe no more. But okay, next topic. Sorry.
Yeah, right. We just got to get ahead
of the next rumor.
Oh, you have a super chat, Dom.
Oh, we missed a super chat. A Canadian $2 super chat from TVOR. Miss, can you eat a granola bar next? I guess TVOR has a granola fetish, so there you go.
So you have to get move the camera a little closer and eat a little slower.
Yeah. No,
Slower.
I'll be quiet.
I don't do requests.
You take what you they should take what you give, you know. I'll be quiet.
Westworld actor Jeffrey Wright in negotiations to play Commissioner Jim Gordon in The Batman. Exciting. The search for a Commissioner Gordon in Matt Reeves' The Batman has narrowed in on a choice, and it's a controversial actor of color, James Bond and Westworld actor Jeffrey Wright. The Hollywood Reporter broke the exclusive, noting that Wright is in negotiations to play Commissioner Gordon, the classic ally to The Dark Knight. THR adds casting is in the early stages, and Wright should be the first to join Robert Pattinson for what the reporters call a planned, grounded take on the Caped Crusader. Gotham Police Commissioner James Gordon needs no introduction to regular comic readers and fans of Batman. He's been a staple of the comics from the beginning, all the way back to 1939, issue 27 of Detective Comics at least. At times, he found himself caught up in Batman's most dangerous escapades, such as Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, which he was a captive of the Joker. More recently, he became Batman and fought against Mr. Bloom in a mech suit. Gordon has been part of the fold in other media since the 1960s TV show starring Adam West. Recently, J.K. Simmons portrayed him in Justice League, and Ben McKenzie played a young version in Gotham. The best remembered on-screen iterations are those of Pat Hingle in Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher's movies, Gary Oldman in Christopher Nolan's films, and that of Batman the Animated Series voiced by Bob Hastings. Wright appears this year in The Goldfinch, a Warner Brothers adaptation, and Steve Soderbergh's The Laundromat. What is that? He is also returning to James Bond for No Time to Die and is slated for the quirky director Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch.
There you go.
Blah, blah,
Yeah, a lot of blah, blah, nobody cares. Like they also the rumor going around is that Jonah Hill is being eyeballed for Riddler and Penguin as well.
I thought you were gonna say for Batman.
I'm Batman, okay?
Jonah Hill as Batman, guys. Let's get a yes in the chat for Jonah Hill.
Why doesn't anybody take me seriously?
I'm Batman, guys, for real. No, look, look at Batman. Let me get you guys.
Okay, so I understand the anger for this.
No, I'm not angry.
There's no anger.
Not angry at all.
Like, some people are very much against the race swapping of Gordon, which I can be like, okay, yes, but Jeffrey Wright is not a bad choice.
No,
Jeffrey
actually,
Wright. What was he in again? What's Jeffrey Wright again?
from Westworld and a few other movies.
See, I was never a huge fan of the Gordon character personally because I never was into the comics. I haven't seen enough of him in things to be able to judge.
Jonah Hill for Alfred.
That'd be funny too. I am the butler. What do you want, Batman? Yeah, you're in the cave. Oh, you win.
I can imagine him as Gordon, though. I can imagine Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. That's a.
I think it's a Jonah Hill's.
No.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Look at this, Batman. Why are you such a dick?
I mean, that'd be better choice than Will Smith or something, you know.
Oh, Will Smith is Gordon. Oh, that would piss me off.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he'd play Gordon. He'd want to be Batman instead. Besides, he's
Ryo Stew in the chat says, "Make Alfred a woman, please." Oh yes, we need a female butler. What's that called again? Oh, a maid. Yes.
Alfreda.
Nice. Alfreda.
She'll be
Sexy. Mexican.
Ellie?
Yeah. A busty one.
Alfreda.
I vote for that. Nothing wrong with that. Jonah Hill is apparently asking for 10 million, so it remains to be seen if he gets the gig. I think they could budge if he lowers it to 9.5.
People forget that he's been nominated for like 3 Oscars now, right? That's the thing.
He's a great actor.
He's awesome in Wolf of Wall Street and a few other things I've seen.
Have you seen that Netflix show he did? I can't remember the name of it, but I binge watched it. It was really good. What was it freaking called?
I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of the name of it either now.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't help.
Shoot, but yeah, he's really good. He's a great actor, so him being the Riddler is also a pretty good idea. It's just when you're talking about the race swapping thing, it's the reason they're doing it, right? And they're doing it for those like SJW brownie points.
Yeah, you see, like if at some point they were to go, hey, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna, make our next continuation of something or whatever, or our next version of something, and we're trying to toss around to pull actors and stuff, and then we're looking at their works, and these few pop up really well, and we're leaning toward them. And if they happen to be someone of color or a woman or something, whatever, cool, because your intention isn't to go. What was that?
If they didn't come out and say and make articles like, "Oh my God, Jeffrey Wright's playing Gordon. What a controversial topic." Don't say that. Don't say that shit, because they're just trying to make it controversial by saying it's controversial.
I honestly have not heard one person yet say it's a bad idea.
No, it's not.
Okay, Tom, help me out with this, since you're an old timer from the ancient days of the old men times. So when Blade came out, was anybody like, they're casting a black man as Blade?
Blade's always been black.
Yeah,
I know. But black people have never been in a movie before.
No, that isn't to say that they didn't. Now, here again goes with that thing, like I said earlier. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if at one point they thought about casting Blade as a white guy, though.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that would be dumb, but
and
also if things are parody too.
The way the studios think of shit. That's why I think they're hypocrites for all of a sudden jumping on this SJW train. It's like, folks, we went through the PC shit back in the 90s. You guys are just way behind on this one. Sorry, you're not ahead of the curve for once in your lives. So they're acting like everybody else has to catch up with them, when no, we've already been there, done that. We already know we're not supposed to sexually harass women at work.
And that's why we're annoyed that they keep on talking like it just happens and no one else knows about it. It's like, we already knew. Why are you talking about it now?
Chances are, if you have a 9 to 5 job, you work with somebody who's not white.
I feel like it's like the kid in class where the class has moved on, but this one kid kind of struggled to understand it at the beginning, and then now he got it, and then so they're already moved on 3 sections ahead, and he's like, "Oh, but you guys, 2 + 2 = 4." Did you know?
Yeah, we're in the multiplication.
Did not know. We got to preach.
Way on multiplication. Yeah. And that's the thing. I can sit there and say, in my daily Joe jobs, I've had more women as bosses than I've had as men.
Same here. Literally, the owner of my Subway and the last one were women. Managers and women. I could put the effort in to try to be one myself, but I want to freaking manage a Subway.
Trying harder.
Not anymore. I want to be. I had the position of one without being paid the wage for it for a little bit. Did I like it? No. Even if I was paid the wage, no thanks. But yeah.
I've had managers have been men, but the supervisors were women.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not like the rest of the world hasn't already caught up with this notion that women are just as good as men at most jobs, or sometimes better, or deserve the same amount of pay, or the same amount of all that kind of, this is nothing new. We all had to watch videos back in the day about this is sexual harassment. This is okay. This is not okay. Good touch, bad touch. Crap like that. We've all been there, folks.
Yeah,
the reason Hollywood is trying to catch up is because, like Bob Iger said earlier in the story, they've only got mostly white men running the studios, mostly white men in producerial roles and CEOs and directing roles. And
that whole thing goes well, then what if mostly white men were garbage men? Garbage, doing the garbage or something. Would they care? No,
and you're making a good point there, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Already everywhere else, things are diverse, just because they aren't in Hollywood.
Well, it's what it goes to. What would be the specific number where it's okay, we're even. There's enough women. There's enough enough blank and blank, and that's perfect. And that's the number you need to reach, and it's good, balanced. but it's usually not anything. It's just, and that goes with the whole, they give them like the diversity thing, and they'll complain that it wasn't a woman. They give diversity in a woman, and they complain that she wasn't gay. They make her gay, but she's not gay enough, or she's too gay, or she's this or that, or but she also didn't have a fetish or something. Like, okay, what do you fucking?
Well, people just announce their sexual orientation and what they identify with now, even though 20 years ago those same people were like, don't label me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, and that's not all of them, sorry. Yeah. But my point is like, yeah, it's like they don't seem to understand that no, that teacher didn't have to give Harvey Weinstein a blowjob to get her job. You know, that's not how the real world generally works. It's just in places where there's power. So yeah, Hollywood and DC have some catching up to do. You know,
well, yes. It's like, you know, I think it'd be cool if more people strive to want to be in positions in those places of power. But I feel like a lot of people like settling as well where they are. They like being where they're familiar with for a while. So they don't want to, they don't want to have to be in the position where if something goes wrong, they get blamed, you know, half the time. Like it's
interesting though, you know, where they're trying to change existing characters in existing comic book universes instead of making their own comic book universe. Make your own comic book universe.
That's very annoying that they don't. You know, I'd give more credit if that's what they were doing more often, and put if they want to put some of their ideas in it. Like honestly, if that's not part of their promotion, I don't know why that would be. That's always part of their marketing these days. It's like mentioning that kind of thing. It's like, I don't know. It'd be cool to see some new ideas out there instead of just, hey, look, you remember something else you remember? We're doing a different one again now. Again, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, and then the mentality is, oh, it's worked for 80 years. I think it's time for something fresh and new.
Like I have my own idea of a movie that I had for a while, and I might try to make it into like a comic or something first if it's going to take forever to get Hollywood type of thing. I shared it before. Like I picture somebody like Jason Momoa just as the placeholder for it. A strong werewolf warrior in the past, and you know, cut forward a couple thousand years or something, and he's fat, lazy, just enjoying life because he fought all these years. Why not? And you know, he's you know, some people cause some trouble, and he's got to try to get back into shape, but it's hard, you know, these days. And it's like, even as a werewolf, dude, he's skilled and stuff. It's like you still got some issues, so it'd be comedic, kind of dramatic. Maybe see this was kind of funny. I thought of this character before I even was on YouTube. His friend would be a black female lesbian British werewolf. But that was just because of a character I saw on the show called Castle. It was like this black British chick that was kick-ass. It's like, okay, that'd be kind of a funny dynamic with this whole time thing and whatnot. So I don't know. There's just situations that I thought up with that, but it wasn't like I don't get wolf points. No.
Yeah, people just, I don't know. They're too afraid that they're not going to rise up, so they don't try. Or it's dumb. It's dumb and it's lazy, and people don't want to try, and people just want to change existing things because it's easier.
Yeah,
right. Lorenzo, who brings up a good point here. Has anyone ever watched a movie because of X is black now? Doubt it. That's what we always say here on is like all these people that are out there, like, you know, the Twitterati and the, you know, armchair activists or whatever you want to call them. They don't go to this shit. Sure, they're going, yeah, fuck you guys. Ghostbusters are women now. Ha 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 ha. But where were you opening weekend? Because you sure as fuck weren't in the theaters.
Well, they weren't at Annihilation. They weren't at that movie Anna that came out this year. Did anybody watch that? No. It was an empty theater when I went in. It wasn't a great movie either, but I'm pretty sure they wanted some women representation. That damn sure was right there. She played everybody like a fool, and you know, that'd be some great points. No one said a damn word about that film. What else was I gonna say? I don't know, say something else. I had another example of something else.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was.
It's
at a point.
Things seem to be hitting sort of a middle with this, where everything's just going along steadily, and they're not trying to make up new things. They're just changing old things.
Right. Well, it's like the Big Bang Theory. Jim Parsons, like he's super gay, I think, but I don't think they ever used that as part of their marketing or anything. And you know, for a lot of people, it was still a good show. I thought it was kind of funny. For when I was a little younger, you know, I thought it was pretty dang funny. And I mean, I don't know, like, and with women too, it's like, who are these people that think that all these men hate women? I don't understand the logic in that. I mean, Resident Evil, lead female, who doesn't like the badass women in that? And not saying those are great films, but it's something that we get to list our examples that we always have of everything all the time. Was there more articles that you had?
I think there was one or two more, if not.
There's
Why did you?
more, but I don't know. It's just another rumor about Superman.
Are you sure it's going to be a man? It's going to be a male.
Apparently,
Superman.
a young man.
Superman.
Superman. See here, we're going to start off the movie, and it's going to wind up being a mystery. You won't know by the end or not if Superman is going to be Superman.
Mystery Box 6?
And it's going to be about a mystery box. And in that mystery box, we'll never know what's inside it until the second, maybe third film.
And even then, I might not open it. Because I suck at endings.
It wouldn't be a mystery if I told you.
Well, yeah, that's his mystery box thing. It's I hate him.
Wait, J.J. Abrams is gonna with Superman? What?
It's all rumor.
It's a rumor because of his big deal over at Warner Brothers. There's a lot of people thinking that he might be eyeballing some DC properties. The bigger rumor has been Green Lantern, but
for a second I thought you said that J.J. Abrams wants to be Superman.
Well, that too, probably. He did write a Superman script years back, and if anybody's read it, it's fucking horrendous. It is available online. It's not hard to find. But anyway, go ahead, Miss.
Henry Cavill out as Superman. J.J. Abrams will look to recast with younger actor. A new rumor indicates Henry Cavill is out as Superman, as J.J. Abrams will look to cast a younger actor. The rumor comes from Matt McGloin at Cosmic Book News, who writes, I've been told that Abrams will take on Superman and Green Lantern first, and that he will recast with a younger Superman. McGloin's source tells him Superman can't be older than Batman. Blah, blah, blah.
Why?
And with Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman, Batman would be 3 years younger than Henry Cavill's Superman. Pattinson is 33 years old, and Cavill is 36 years old. For reference, Hugh Jackman was 31 when he starred as Wolverine in the first X-Men film back in 2000. He last played Logan at the age of 48. Cavill was rumored to be out as Superman in September of last year in a story from The Hollywood Reporter. Those rumors pointed to negotiations between Cavill and Warner Brothers breaking down. One of the THR's resources indicated Cavill took on Netflix's The Witcher after negotiations broke down. They also indicated that Warner Brothers was looking to shift focus to Supergirl movie, and thus Cavill's age would somehow be a problem. While no decision has been made regarding any upcoming Superman film, we've always had great respect for and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged.
Yeah, I hate to break it to everybody. We're not going to get another Henry Cavill Superman movie. Probably not. I mean, it's dumb. If any of this is true to any of this rumor, it's mostly to do with the fact that they're all going their own way. They're doing their own thing. And outside of a few people, they're all going to be new.
People are shouting alien in the chat. Are they touching on
that was when I said when I referenced a movie or a strong female character, they were shouting out a few.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and then Sarah Connor was a strong female character until the new movie anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
I hate StreamYards.
Why?
Honestly, from the sounds of this, we're not going to get a good freaking Superman movie.
Not likely.
I mean, didn't they have to CGI a smile onto Cavill in the first place?
No, it was he had to wear a mustache. Okay, gotcha. Never
We
mind.
can pretend that they CGI'd his face, his smile.
Yours is bad as me. I don't know when you're kidding sometimes.
I know.
Humor.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, I have a very passionate dislike for J.J. Abrams. Always have, always will. He's an idiot. He doesn't know how to direct. And people who like him, that's fine. You just have no taste.
See, I can't say that he's unskilled at anything because he does have some talent. But as far as I don't even understand what his passion is. Why is this what he wants to do? And it's why doesn't he have? I'd at least like it if he had a few original ideas and then started to do some few things. But it's like, from what I can tell, his history is mostly just given properties of other films, and it's like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, hey, let's remake
one of his original ideas, and he didn't even finish it. He just did the first episode, and I think he screwed off.
No, he was there for a little bit, I think, but I'm not sure.
He was there for a little bit, but he didn't finish it.
What's his film history before? Was he an actor? Was he on the set in some way on anything?
Spielberg's little trophy boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had started out, I believe, as a writer. Like one of his earlier writing things I remember is like regarding Henry, the Harrison Ford movie, and then which isn't a bad movie. And then he moved up to like television and stuff. His big claim to fame, I think, was the what's the spy show with Jennifer Garner in it? Alias. I think he did first, and then he did Lost. And they both got big. And like Alias, I think he left in like the 5th season, and then I think he left in like the 3rd or 4th season of Lost, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's good at starting things and not good at finishing them. And then he had like 8mm and God, what was that other movie he did? I can't even remember now. Oh, Mission Impossible he worked on.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek, of course.
I feel like I'd have more faith in him if he could start a project and end one on his own that wasn't somebody else's property, and he directed it and was more involved on set.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like he has as much investment in anything he's doing. Like, oh, I don't have the pressure of making it popular because people already know about this, or they know that I'm tied to blank, so that's why I'm here. And it's like, I don't know. There's some I'd even give like Ashton Kutcher more credit, and I don't even like the guy. Like he put effort into what he was doing, and tried and worked here and there, worked around. So,
but the thing is with JJ is I think he's had it so easy that he's never had to try.
He's like a millennial, isn't he? No, not literally, but I mean,
older than I think I am, but yeah.
I mean, he's not literally a millennial, but he's being treated as one. As
definitely a product of the participation ribbon generation.
Yeah,
but he must have had the type of parents that would beat somebody's ass just to get him a first place one, or he'd go, I know Steven Spielberg, and get one.
See, like that, I don't know. It could just be because I'm trying to be a film director someday, but I'm literally starting out at the bottom and trying to build up something towards the top. This guy
never had to really work hard for it. That's for sure.
And it's like I'm hoping that people will look back at where I was and be able to go, "Wow, you came a long way from pink-haired Taliban," But I don't know.
I do not like this man. Nothing could convince me that this man has a smidgen of talent. He's an idiot. He's absolutely an idiot.
So based on that, though, what do you think he'll fuck up next?
Green Lantern or Superman?
Well, it's easy to fuck up Green Lantern. They're not even throwing him hardballs.
I mean, what's something else that we all like that he could easily destroy?
There's not much left, is there?
I'm trying to think for a second. Like, well, shoot, what is there?
Battlestar
Galactica. I think they're smart enough not to let him near Marvel. I don't know.
See, this was kind of my thing too. With all the stuff they've already been doing these last 5-6 years, I think just give them a few more, they'll have dried up the well completely, and then maybe things will start looking up from there. Once they go, well, we rebooted everything already. What do we do next? Reboot our reboots, or make something new now?
I hate to break it to you guys, but this at least kind of answers the question as to why JJ or why he's so whatever. Just because he's done stuff that the fans don't necessarily like, he makes money. That's the thing. The Force Awakens made a bunch of money.
Yeah, because it draws the public. It's like candy, or it's a shiny, and the public audience goes, "Oh, what's that? That looks neato. Let's go check it out."
He does what's easy. He does what's easy on the eyes, what's easy to hear, what's easy to follow. He doesn't put anything with depth, anything that's complicated that you have to sort of think to figure out. Everything he puts on the screen, a 5-year-old could follow.
Yeah, he did the Star Wars, or not the Star Trek movies, right? The ones that came out 10 years ago.
fairly well, except the second one I think made a little bit more in the U.S. but not overseas. Or
I don't know, like as far as what it looked like, it was on Netflix, and I tried to watch it, and I'm like, I just had no interest. I was
Star
like,
Trek on ADHD, yeah.
well, it's like, because to me, I never watched Star Trek, and I was like, well, maybe this will get me interested to watch some Star Trek. And okay, I'm not, and that did not ruin anything for it. I'll still check out the old ones, but I watched. I gave it 10 minutes to get me any bit interested, and it just felt like I don't even care to care. Just nothing. Nothing made me wonder about anything in that minute. I mean, something's got to hook me to figure out, so where's this going? And nothing. I was just like, no, I don't care.
The man. I hate the man. I don't understand the man. He makes too much money for making so stupid things. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Miss, I want you to be his competitor, be his rival. Make better movies than JJ.
Well, I have to learn how to do stop motion.
I could teach you that. That's easy.
Well, with clay.
My Rotten Tomatoes videos are better than his. I'm assuming.
Yes, they are. I would make all the Rotten Tomatoes videos. I would watch you kill tomatoes for 10 hours before I would watch his Star Trek movies.
I was referring more to where I had you guys voice all the characters. Stuff. Yep. With Tom as the head tomato and you as one of them. Yeah, that was.
I cannot stand this guy. I got in an argument with Lee Cole because he likes him, and I.
Yeah, see, like JJ's like he seems to be the popcorn feeding like type of thing where it's like, hey, just sit back, don't think about things, eat your popcorn, and leave, and don't think about us ever again. Yeah.
Definitely. Lorenzo, who says, please don't judge Star Trek on those movies. Do not judge
Star
Trek.
No. I know. I'm giving the old ones a chance still, but I'm not in the right feeling to watch them yet because I do think they look very corny, and I need to be in the right type of, okay, I'm good with this moment right now.
I really liked Voyager. I liked Voyager. I liked Voyager, and then I liked Next Generation.
Okay. Are you going somewhere? Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I was just saying which ones I liked more than the others. Most people like Next Generation the most. I like the Voyager the most.
I was gonna say if you guys in the chat and on the panel are probably big Star Trek fans. Now, how many different movies did they make? And when they were making them, were there like going like, why are you guys ruining the things, or why are you making this? Why are you casting these people? What are you doing? Was this a thing back then too, kind of, where it's like questionable casting, questionable, why are you making another movie of this? Even back then.
Of which one? Like the JJ one?
Of Star Trek in general. I'm talking before pre-2000s.
Like Wrath of Khan and
there was no problem with the original movies because they were the original cast. There was a little bit of worry when they were bringing back Star Trek, and everybody's like, well, how can you do Star Trek without, Shatner and Nimoy and Kelly and so on? And they're like, just trust us. And there was a little hesitance at first, but Next Generation caught on like wildfire eventually. And then, it was just the same kind of motivation went into the next few shows, and they were well received. Enterprise, not so much down the road. That was the fourth show that came out. They did have an animated series between the first movie and the old television show as well. But then after 6 movies, they moved on to the Next Generation. They did 4 movies of the Next Gen. And
was there any concern during any of that? Like, oh no, why are you guys continuing the series?
I think the movies were directed by Shatner. Weren't there movies directed by Shatner that were shit?
There's one. The 5th one is not very well received, but believe it or not, it's like Doomcock's favorite Star Trek movie.
Okay. Well, I'm just kind of curious with that because that's like the old time version of what's happening now, but maybe it was at a way lower level of concern. Like, you're doing this, but okay, you're doing this. All right.
It's probably a good way to get into Star Trek by watching a few select of the original episodes, then watching pretty much most of the movies, and then getting into like TNG is probably a real good entry point after that, just so you have like a good overview of what old Star Trek was. I mean, if you end up becoming a fan, go for it. Watch it. There's only like
Deranged Lunatic.
I feel like I need to watch the Christopher Lloyd one because I saw just a little bit of that once, and Christopher Lloyd's funny. So.
Well, actually, the funny thing is the one after that, the fourth film, is a good entry point for extremely non-fans, just because the fourth movie works like a movie that doesn't even have to be a Star Trek movie. Like you can just put in time travelers or space time travelers or whatever. It doesn't have to be Captain Kirk. It could be anybody.
I feel like I might be okay with them because I was a Stargate fan, and I hear that they're pretty similar. They're different, of course, way different, but similar-ish. Like,
I'm willing to bet that most Stargate fans are Star Trek fans to begin with. Most.
Okay.
That's a safe bet. $2 from Deranged Lunatic. Miss and her two ugly stepsisters. Stop calling them names. That's sexist.
Who are you calling ugly, mister?
Yeah, it's sexist. I have lovely blonde locks. And he's
prettier.
And he's like Arabian. He's like Arabian, so you can't make fun of him. He's safe.
I'm Ustast Arabian Ushnish.
I can't believe I got through this whole show with that thing on.
I got my Russian accent, boy.
Now you're Russian?
I can do a good Russian one, but I got to be in the right voice for it.
Movies.
When I get the turban on, I don't know if I can.
I can't remember the name of the one where the Borg sends them back in time.
That's first.
The Borgs are sending them back in time, comrade.
If you mean the movies, that's First Contact.
First Contact, yeah, I've seen First Contact. I like that one. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, of the Next Generation movies, as far as I know, that's the most well received as far as fans go.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen all of them though.
Robert April says Rookie is very, very confused.
I haven't seen Deep Space Nine. I haven't seen that. The thing is about me is a lot of the shows that I watch with my dad, and if my dad hasn't watched it, I haven't watched it. And we watched Next Gen and we watched Voyager together, and I've seen some episodes from Star Trek with Kirk.
Right, but as of right now, I think all of the Star Trek episodes are on Hulu and Netflix, or at least Hulu, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And if you're going to watch them, I'd watch them now while you can, because I'm sure as soon as the license goes up, they're going to end up on CBS only.
That's probably true. But I'm pretty sure I know people that can get me access to something.
Right. I mean, I got the entire first series on Blu-ray for like $30, I think. So that's not bad at all. And I think I got the Next Generation on sale for like $79, and that's like 7 seasons, I think. Yeah. So that's been that bad.
Captain Robert April says, has either of you infants seen the original series? He's referring to you and me, Miss. I obviously have not seen it. Miss, you haven't seen it either?
I have seen some of the original series. I have not watched all of it.
The Mighty Wolf says, Rookie, you're not like Mia Khalifa.
I don't doubt Deep Space Nine is really good, though I know some people who do not like Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
I hear more stuff. That's one of the series I actually haven't watched all the way through and stuff. And from what I heard, it's just the way that the story shifts tones, I guess, and goes away from its original idea. Like midway through.
Some of Scott Bakula's.
Yeah, I've seen most of Enterprise. That one's all right, but I hear, both good and bad as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Voyager's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, Voyager is very well beloved.
And it's funny because I think Voyager has Captain Janeway, the female captain of the.
They had women back then. They existed back then.
Female captains, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I thought women were a new invention, like in the last 5 years.
Discovery only, yeah, right. Yeah, before Discovery, they didn't have black people, they didn't have women or any of that.
I didn't know. I thought these were just other
ignore Nichols, ignore Cisco. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. Yeah, Mighty Wolf said it. I'm not Mia Khalifa. I think of Wiz Khalifa or something. Yeah, yeah, boy, or okay, or is that's a different guy.
Ignore the fact that every single Star Trek cast, including the original series, was more diverse than Captain Planet. Just ignore all that.
Then I remember Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. Here's our powers magnified, and he's fighting on the planet side. You'll pay for this, Captain Planet.
I had to
And
lose
take it away, Tom. No, Miss.
Two.
We're the Planeteers. You can be one too. I remember those. Those stuck too much in me. I don't know why.
It's the hat.
Mhm.
Miss, you were trying to say something in the midst of all that.
Yeah, she was like trying to say, "Rookie, shut up."
I don't remember.
Makes sense.
I
Makes sense.
watched a lot of Mystery Science Theater with my parents. That was cool. I think there was a female in Mystery Science Theater.
I have not seen that yet, but everybody says I should.
It's funny.
I'm going to be releasing my list of movies I haven't seen yet again, but it's updated to 150. And I made the list. I made the list on the screen now, so y'all can actually see them instead of just me saying them. Yeah, y'all can yell at me tomorrow when I post that about the movies I have not seen. But Tom can witness that I have made a little bit of progress with the Karate Kid series, Alien, Jaws, Kill Bill. I'm getting there, guys. It's just taking a little bit. And Rambo, I'm sorry that it's been so hectic trying to schedule a Rambo thing. My god dang work keeps on getting in my freaking way. But as far as I know, this Friday's still good. But
there you go.
Yeah, because I saw Rambo 1 for the first time.
Getting much better, Rookie-san.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Master Tom. Yes.
Speaking of Karate Kid, I got a new Karate Kid shirt.
That is most badass. We shall go into battle now. No, Miss is not like my accents. She's like, no.
She doesn't.
She's like, this dude, like, I'm trying to be nice to him, and he's making it difficult to care. Like, this guy.
Okay.
Nice.
Miss, do you like the Russian version a little bit better? No? Come on.
Look what we have here.
Sorry.
Hi, guys. Oh, I guess I should try to add a photo.
She came from.
Don't worry about it. We know it's you. It's a boob.
It has to be Mary in a wig.
Yeah, I couldn't take it no more. It was too hot. I had to take that damn thing off.
Mary in a wig.
Uh-huh. Miss, where's your wig?
Uh-oh, we lost Mary. We
Your
lost
wig, Miss. That wig was required. I think you're breaking the rules, Miss. A TikTok on the clock. Just go get the wig from the store down by the block, and I can rap all day. That is what I say.
Rookie, what are you on, and where can I get some, and how much is it?
I'm on recovering from being sick, so probably NyQuil. I mean, I don't know.
I was gonna say, because like I heard when I was a kid, like there's supposed to be all these people giving me free drugs by schools. I walk around the school all the time. Have yet to meet this guy.
Well, they don't go, hey, look at me. I'm the drug guy. Like,
well, yeah, but I asked everybody, and like I'm like, you got the free drugs? Are you the guy with the free drugs?
Well, you got to go. Are you guy with the? No, you don't ask him the question. You got to ask around the question, and he'll go, "Oh, you got the stuff? Yeah, I got the stuff." You know, you don't just go, "Hey, do you have the drugs? Hey, do you have the drugs?"
How have I just walked in?
Barbara Mary, remember when Barbara Bush told us that there was supposed to be a bunch of people around schools giving away free drugs when we were kids? I've yet to run into these people.
What?
I've been looking hard.
You've been looking for them, eh?
And he went up to people and went, "Hey, do you have drugs? Do you have drugs? Do you have drugs?"
I got lied to by the first lady of the United States of America.
I was told there were drugs.
I was told there was going to be free drugs, readily accessible by the school. In fact, they were supposed to be advertising and giving them away.
In New York, apparently, says Anthony Delangelo. In New York. Were you in New York? No? That's why.
Oh my.
Mary, take
Hey, Mary. Hey, Mary. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine, comrade. I'm the pink terrorist, okay?
Hey, look at Rookie coming in and holding down toxic femininity for me in my absence.
Indeed, this is my
Thanks.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, Meg's had a unfortunate emergency to take care of, and so we're hoping for the best for her situation. And then she's okay, but somebody close to her is having some issues, so hopefully that all gets sorted out. Other than that, yeah, Mara's just having some issues with her internet, so unfortunately,
The force, she just kept on coming in and out of the force, you know.
We got to get her a new laptop. It's just a struggle right now.
Oh yeah.
It is.
it is hard out here for a pimp.
Pimping ain't easy.
Mara is like, she's awesome. She has like so much to say. I try, but I need you ladies here to bounce ideas off of.
I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what the topics are, what the conversation is. I just felt terrible that the minute I got in my room, I just turned on the phone and was like, okay, let's see what's going on. What can I do? So I'm sorry, guys. I'll be back next week, though.
Okay.
You know, what's funny is you've said you're going to be gone all this time, but yet you've popped in for at least one guest visit, I think, every episode. But that's not a bad thing. So,
I mean, I'm trying really hard to juggle and not
jiggle.
No, we discontinued.
No, she doesn't do that anymore.
No, I've just been trying really hard to not disappear altogether, because I know that it's really easy to let things fall by the wayside, and this is important to me. You guys are important to me, and I don't really want to abandon anyone. So, yeah. I'm sappy.
Yes, you are, but you are sappy, Mary.
Well, if you're too busy, I'll just take your spot on the toxic femininity. So it's all good.
I'm gonna require you to cut off your penis. Rook, I'm just saying it, and that's fine. Far be it from me to tell you what to do with your own life, but I am gonna need you to cut your penis off.
No, I kind of need that thing for some stuff. Not yet. Yeah, still need it.
There's only one penis allowed on Toxic Femininity, and not it.
If I ever submit to the wokeness of Hollywood, then that could probably be arranged. But until that day, it's staying.
For now, my penis stays.
Yes, indeed.
All right, you can temporarily
touch. Like, Mrs. Like, God damn it, Jeff. Like, what?
She's like, quit with the penis talk.
Hey, she brought it up, not me, miss. Okay.
She doesn't want to talk about only but specific penises.
The chef must be loving this conversation even more than this.
I know this is my fault, but I am now uncomfortable. So
now we have committed the sin of Me Tooing you, the folks out there, and these fine ladies up here. So this was the last Toxic Femininity. I hope you enjoyed it.
That's the end of it.
We're going to start
we fucked it up.
The toxicer femininity on the next one.
I did not help with fucking up.
Thanks, Ricky, for fucking up a good thing.
Toxic femininity now with more woke.
Wait a minute, though. I think we have an out. Mary was the one who suggested you cut off your penis first. Yes. So I didn't technically Me Too anybody. There you go.
Nope.
She Me Too'd you.
It's all me. It's all me. You can blame me. # blame Mary Mayhem.
You're fired, Mary, but you're rehired because I can't do this without you. So
just garnish my wages for a few weeks.
Yes, you get nothing of nothing. And you will like it. No, someday I hope to be able to pay people. It'd be nice.
You can always give out imaginary money, just like, hey, I owe you a couple dollars, Monopoly money.
Says Rookie, who's trying to poach my moderators by offering them real chicken soup instead of the ramen I give them.
Yeah, I'd pay Hanstar well. I'd make sure that he gets warm Campbell's chicken noodle soup instead of some plastic ramen.
Can I get stars in mine?
Yeah, dude. You know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make a giant vat of homemade chicken noodle soup now, and I'm gonna send it.
You know what, Tom? Tom, I'd give them an actual spoon instead of a fork like Mary. She gives them a fork to eat soup.
No, I give them forks.
I give them a spoon, a big spoon, so they can shove it in their mouth and not have it all drip down. So,
unlike Galaxy's Edge and Rookie, she gives us sporks. So, sorry.
I give them sporks. Yeah, and they love their sporks.
Name one food you eat sporks with.
I mean, like sporks are awesome.
Everything.
They can do both, right? They can slurp the sauce or slurp the sauce. They can slurp the broth.
They're
and then stab the
hermaphroditic
noodle.
silverware. It's amazing.
They're perfect.
Rookie's unconvinced. Go try and eat some Taco Bell without a spork.
I'd have to eat Taco Bell first.
Ooh.
Why do I get
Talking
the
to
feeling
the
that
fi-
since I hopped on, this conversation has devolved drastically?
Oh, it
You-
was
you-
up when you got in here.
You'd be surprised how often
Pretty
we've
much
devolved.
all the stories anyway.
I love shocking Tom.
Talking shit.
I think I just shocked Tom with how I said I don't eat at Taco Bell. I don't eat Taco Bell.
Oh, snap.
But you see, I bet you I can remember that Charles Barkley rap where he's like the $5 box, it rocks, and something like a shots of guys with dreadlocks. Something we all scream for burrito supreme. Something both on the list. And wait, let me think, an ice cold drink. I remember that commercial from back then watching NBA. Hell yeah.
Rookie, one of these days we're gonna have to have a wrap off.
Oh, I know. You missed it earlier when I was on a roll. I was doing the Captain Planet theme.
Ooh.
Nobody knows that anymore.
The power is yours. I know it.
Oh, you did, God, I passed it off to them, and they're like, chirps, nothing. I'm like, oh, we're the Planeteers. You can be one too. And
Because saving our planet
This
is the thing to do.
This just in breaking news. Mary might be lying. According to Mox Rocks, she's still paying him in ramen, and he only still gets a fork. I don't get a spork. This is bullshit. Wait, you're negotiating, Mary? You cheated me. Oh, well, Mary, do you have anything to say?
I can't come up with that many sporks. Okay, Disney got rid of them.
You're fired.
That's where I've been for the past 3 weeks.
Well, you know what, employees of Mary, if you come over to my side, I'll give you some fresh, canned, quality soup with actual spoons. I may just work at Subway, but by gone it, I make sure that you're provided for.
We have a $5 super chat from Captain Hair.
Captain Hair coming through like a trooper as always. Thank you, good sir. If this level of drag is acceptable to get on, why have you not gotten Rob to ruin things even more? Now,
that is busy.
Suggestion. Part of the reason we do this on Tuesdays is because Rob normally has his trivia on Tuesdays night. Tuesday night. He's actually off on vacation. So, yeah, one of these days, though, we may get him on Toxic Femininity and in a wig or something.
Yeah, dude, I'll seriously go find a wig in my closet somewhere. Probably gonna be matted, maybe pink, but I'm gonna find a wig. And
This one wasn't as good as my colored one. This was a $5 Dollar General Halloween wig, and it sucked. It was very hot.
As they do.
It was funny. Tom was like, "Hey, so Rookie, you got to put on a wig." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just go get my wig that I have."
Okay, first of all, like Meg's of course, saying she's not going to be able to make it, sadly, of course, and then Mara's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang in there or not with my internet. So Miss is like, oh, this is great. So it's going to be Toxic Femininity with Miss. And I'm like, well, I'll put on a damn wig if I have to. And
this would have been funny if we decided, no, Miss, you're not going to be in it, and then it's just like a couple dudes.
Dude.
That would have been pretty funny.
Anybody, I'm like freaking out.
Just make up a show called Two Dudes.
I think I'm gonna make this a character with the Taliban.
I don't know. You might get away with it. Nobody's really said anything yet.
Not yet. I could paint. No, if I painted my face brown, people might have an issue.
That would not be a good idea.
I wouldn't like that. I assume.
The idea of like a gay terrorist though does intrigue me.
No. He'd be a full-on terrorist. He just looks silly.
No. He'd be gay because
he'll blow you up. Now don't be
I dyed it pink because it goes better with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so sick of all the robes.
Let people be themselves too, but I'm still going to kill you. But it's okay. It's okay.
Shorts are so much more practical in the desert.
Yeah. What's funny with I should have wigs by now. for characters. But no, it's
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, hey, Rookie, throw on a wig, man. You're good to go.
I have people should send me some because I ain't gonna buy one.
I'm going to give you a bit of advice, and this comes from somebody who's tried making movies since they were a young kid. Halloween is your best friend, especially the day after, because you can get everything you need for a movie or for your movie stuff, for props and stuff. When it's go to like the dollar store, Walmart, all that, when that's on clearance.
Not a bad idea.
Fake blood for like 10 cents a bottle. You get a bunch of wigs, you get a bunch of fake knives, masks, you name it.
Well, that's not a bad idea, man.
Yeah, no, that's what we always used to do, man.
I think about that. Nice.
And then you never know when you're going to need it.
See, what would be funny is like every time we're not talking about anything on topic, you should have a banner that says Toxic Femininity Stream. And so it's like nothing like we're talking about. So, yeah.
This was a fun special edition of Toxic Femininity.
Yeah. It's like we're not even talking about it. Okay, just reminding you, this is what the show is, but no.
Well, I think normally about now is when we wrap anyway, but as long as we got Mary, I'll stay on.
Yeah, is there any more toxic topics that you can think of, Mary?
Well, I was gonna say, I have to go.
That's all right. Then we might as well close it out unless I missed the story.
No,
I didn't. So there you go. See, so there you go, folks. We want to thank everybody for joining us, especially Mary for a few minutes, and you guys, the chat, for being here. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a show. Mary, real quick before you go, where can everybody find you?
Well, hey guys, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where on the weekdays we talk about newsy news stuff. Weekends we do fun stuff like Shenanigans, which is an adult improv comedy show, and Karaoke, which is just karaoke, and Failsafe, which is my D&D show. So be sure to just swing by and check me out.
All right, Rookie Critic, where can they find you?
Mary got that down to such a T. She's like,
that was impressive.
understand what you said.
Like $5 here, $5 here. I am the Rookie Critic, and as you can tell, based on this live stream, when I said, yeah, I got a lot of movies to knock out. So I'm watching some classic movies, and I am going to be doing watch parties. Tom is basically my co-host on it, basically, in a way, with all watch parties now, as far as what I could tell. And no, I'm a huge skit maker, community uniter, collaborator. That's what I do. I know I'm not embarrassed. I have no more shame. So, I'll do whatever goofy stuff, can make somebody laugh. But as long as it's written well, take notes, directors of Hollywood today. And yeah, that's the Rookie Critic for you. I'm back to posting content. I'm doing film-based stuff. So we'll see more stuff like that. I'm not just going to do the pop culture topics. I feel like enough people have got this down for the most part. I'm going to dive in a little different end. And one day I'll be a director, a pro director, and you can look back on this Toxic Femininity stream and go, that's where he came from? That's where that talented, cool dude came from? Okay, sure.
Suggestion for the next movie. You should gender swap Jeff.
Some people have said that, like where I should have the pink one, but it's like tied up around my chest, so it's like a Daisy Duke or something, but then I don't know, like I don't know what the character would be, what the story would be.
Just do a complete female reboot.
That's too soon. I know it has to be at least 3 months.
Go buy a couple different wigs. They're at your local Dollar General. Trust me.
I bet. Yep.
$5.
No, I do have another idea coming though, a couple of them, and it's going to be shorter than having 135 cameos. It's going to be like around 10 cameos.
I just wish I was more. I missed out on giving you my powers.
Dude. There's 87 people gave me their powers in it, and I missed like 4 or 5 that gave it through audio. So yeah, it's okay. That was a not fun thing to edit in the end, but still fun to do, of course.
And waiting there patiently.
Yeah,
sarcastic nerd. Please tell the fine folks out there where they can find you.
Hey guys, I'm a sarcastic nerd, but you can call me Miss. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. Mox, the lovely, amazing Mox, our moderator, is putting out my information as we speak, I think.
Everybody's information. I'm sure he's got rookies out there too. So
everybody.
check out Rookie's channel as well, folks. If we didn't make that
he's the best, one of the best mods I know. He's awesome. Give some love to Mox out there in the chat. I also want to plug my lovely toxic counterparts, Megs and Mara Jade. You can he was probably also plug for me. Megs is part of the Jolly and Meg show. I think she also has another thing that she does that I can't remember because I have
Yeah, she's an awesome YouTuber. That's what she does.
Yeah,
She's an amazing
yeah,
YouTuber.
it's her own channel.
Well, she goes on to music and entertainment. Sometimes does reviews with Josh.
A lot of the articles that I read are she's the one that she posted them up for me. And Mara Jade as well. She needs a new computer. We all love her and we want to hear what she has to say. But the internet has some weird thing against her right now and won't let her use her amazing voice and let us see her beautiful face.
She wants to do some gender checks. Definitely.
So do check out Mrs. channel so you can get all of the fine entertainment. Check out Megs and check out Mara and check out Mary and check out Rookie. And thanks for joining us on Midnight's Edge After Dark as we put one more toxic femininity to rest. I can't fucking talk anymore.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Drugs. Get the expensive ones.
Are we off yet? I'm trying to wait until we're done.